In today's video, we're going to be talking about purpose, and this is something that I don't think many people realize how important it is, especially for a man. And it's probably something that probably everyone never truly finds. Like, they think they found their purpose when they haven't, or they just never bother to take the time to actually go out there and discover what their true purpose is. They just go through the regular system, school to college, maybe an apprenticeship, go to uni, maybe just go straight into work full time. And they just settle, that they don't take the time to go out there and truly find what it is that they're meant to do career-wise, or even what their life purpose is, because your life purpose doesn't have to be work. It could be you go around and, for example, like my purpose could be to make these videos to help you guys. That could be my purpose. It's not necessarily just going in and working. And another thing is, like, you don't realize how dangerous it is to not have a purpose until you're in that situation where you just wake up, you're sort of just existing. You're like a paper bag in the wind, just getting blown around everywhere. You have no sense of direction at all, and that can be dangerous. For me, I went through this myself. Like, when I was probably 18, well, let me give you some context. I've always been somebody that wants to be rich. I've always had big goals. I've already had big ambitions, but there was no vehicle to move me there because I was 18. Like, I was still quite young. But you know, this dates way back. Like, even when I was 16 years old, when COVID-19 was a thing, I was just watching David Goggins. That's when I first got into David Goggins. Most people that are 16, they don't sit down and watch motivational videos. But I was somebody that I had these big goals, and then I didn't know how to get there. So that sort of drove me insane, because I was working my job, my 9 to 5, and I knew that that wasn't my dream. I didn't want to do that, but I had to. And yeah, that drove me pretty crazy. And I was always looking at, how can I make more money? How can I get rich? How can I go on and actually be happy? Because I was just sick of feeling that I had no purpose. I was just waking up, going to the gym, going to work, coming home, sitting down watching YouTube or researching ways to make money. But like, I didn't want to go into trading or drop shipping and stuff like that. But then luckily we managed to get there in the end. But a lot of people, they do just go through the regular system and they're very unhappy, but they just follow the traditional route of you go to work, you get married, you have kids, and that's all they do. They're not necessarily the most unhappy people in the world, because it's not always like that for people. You can live a good life, but if you're somebody that in your head you know you want more and you're waking up every day, you're not necessarily happy, it can drive you quite insane. So the way around this is just to take time for yourself. You don't have to be in the noise all the time, trying to fit in, feeling like, oh, I've got to go to the club because all my friends are. I've got to go out drinking because all my friends are. Just take a back seat and realistically just take time for yourself, because it's your life at the end of the day. Nobody ever is going to wake up and have to live your life. It's down to you. And that is the truth. I know it sounds very simple, but people don't look at it like that. They spend their whole life trying to make everybody else happy, when in reality, the only person you should be making happy is yourself, because you're the person that's got to wake up and do the actions daily, put the daily inputs in. So instead of just going out and doing things that you're not necessarily wanting to do, you're doing it just because you feel like you have to and you have to fit in. Take time for yourself, find yourself, spend that time alone, because when you're alone and you don't have the noise around you, that's when you can really think about your life, get deep about your life. It's probably the only time you'll ever think about your life, because when you're at work, you have a duty to do your work. And when you come home, you're with your family the whole time. You don't necessarily get that time to really think about your life, analyze your life, and think, okay, am I happy? Is this what I want to do? Chances are you know it's not, but you don't ever have that moment to think, okay, like, I want to make a change. I want to change my whole life, the way I'm going, the direction of my life. And you're only ever going to be able to do that when you're spending time alone. So, you know, half an hour a day, even 10 minutes a day, you can change your life. Get deep about it. What do you want out of your life? How are you going to get there? and then you can find your purpose in every day. You wake up and you work towards your purpose. You're not just coping. That is my advice.